We'll walk around.
My name's Philip Rylands. I'm the director of the Peggy Guggenheim collection in Venice. It's part of the Solomon R. Guggenheim Foundation in New York. It's the personal collection and once the private museum of Peggy Guggenheim herself. Peggy's idea was that it should be contemporary art, as it then was, so all the great classic avant-gardes of the early 20th century. And very rapidly, between 1939 in London, 1940, 41 in Paris, 41 and 42 in New York, she brought together this extraordinary collection of Cubism, abstraction, surrealism, American abstract expressionism. In the 1940s, she entered the history books by supporting young American artists and gave exhibitions to, well, let's mention just one, Jackson Pollock, whose career she more or less launched. She discovered his talent, and it's no accident there's an entire room of paintings by Jackson Pollock here at the Peggy Guggenheim collection. After the war, she returned to Europe, came to Venice, finally realized her ambition to make a museum, lived in Venice for 30 years, and it's in her house that the collection can now be seen. Peggy's collection has depth in the artists Giacometti. Giacometti had his honeymoon here as a guest of Peggy's in Venice. So we have a wonderful piece called Piazza, an early surrealist work called Woman with Her Throat Cut, scary but remarkable. Max Ernst is another important presence in the collection. Peggy was married to Max Ernst briefly in the 1940s. We have two of what I consider his greatest works, The Kiss of 1927 and the phantasmagorical Attirement of the Bride of 1940. A third artist represented in depth here is Picasso. One of Peggy's favorite paintings was On the Beach, a beautiful, serene picture of 1937, painted remarkably just before the Guernica was bombed, just before the making of the great Guernica mural. That's here, and so are several others. It's a city full of history and of art. And is it, after all, the largest site-specific work of art still today in the world? Compare it to Florence. Wonderful museums packed full of great art, but here it's spread all through the city. I think if you had half a day known only in Venice, after a quick visit to the Peggy Guggenheim collection, you would go to the Church of the Frari, with Titian's greatest painting anywhere in the world, really, the Assumption on the High Altar, but also a masterpiece by Donatello, others by Sansovino, a beautiful triptych by Bellini, sculpture by Alessandro Vittoria, another altarpiece by Titian. You can see it's really a wonderful and highly atmospheric place to visit. And just behind it, what they call Tintoretto's Sistine Chapel, that's to say a building decorated almost entirely by Jacopo Tintoretto, the Scuola Grande di San Rocco. So in a half a day you can really get the full flavour of the Venetian Renaissance in those two places.